What's up, Fantasy Football Universe? It is the Devy Mastermind, SC Romero, here to bring you another Devy Diamond. And today we're talking about another running back. Man, I tell you, this 2025 class is deep, but this running back comes from Kansas State, and we'll get on to all of it right after the intro. Fantasy Football Universe, how's it going? I am the Devy Mastermind of the FFU, SC Romero. Follow me on X at the PPR. So before we begin, as always, if you love these videos, if you love fantasy football content, we're dropping it daily. So don't forget to subscribe so you know when we're live, but also just to check out all our other videos and other Devy Diamonds to help you prepare for the future in your dynasty formats. Now, today's Devy Diamond is a running back out of Kansas State, and that is going to be running back DJ Giddens. Now, surprisingly enough, DJ Giddens wasn't really a scouted prospect out of high school. In fact, on the 247 composite rankings, he wasn't even ranked. He had to be a walk-on to get onto Kansas State. Which, being a prospect out of Junction City High School, it makes sense. He stays in Kansas, go to Kansas State. Makes sense. And man, you hear about some of these stories, you don't see him as often, but man, is he such a baller, right? There's a saying in one of my fantasy leagues called Ballers Ball, and DJ Giddens is one of those ballers. And to be honest, he may be the sleeper of the class. I know I talked about Devin Neal in the past, but it could be DJ Giddens. But let's get into his seasons at Kansas State. As a freshman, he saw a fair amount of opportunity, right? Ran for 519 yards, averaged about 5.8 yards per carry. The impressive part was he showed his skill in maintaining balance after contact, right? He just flustered through tacklers. He had 24 missed tackles forced as a freshman, and of those 519 yards, 345 came after contact, which is just phenomenal. He's someone that feeds off the yards after contact. He welcomes it in because he knows he'll break it out and continue to go forward. So fast forward as a sophomore, he got the workhorse ability as a sophomore. He became the feature back at Kansas State as a sophomore. And the good news is he maintained his yards per carry, still over 5 yards per carry, 5.5 yards per carry as a sophomore. It ran for 1,226 yards off of 5.5 yards per carry. That's pretty impressive. What's even more impressive is still, again, 59% of his yards came after contact. That's 727 yards after contact of that 1,226 yards, which is just phenomenal. Again, he's just a back that doesn't go down easy. He's not necessarily killing you with his agility. He does have it, but he's also really strong. Just, getting the tacklers off. He's laying the contact slipped off him and then continuing to move the chains down the field. Even more impressive, 69 missed tackles forced as a sophomore, just balling out right now as a sophomore. There he was. And even more impressive, he showcased even further his pass catching abilities. He had 30 receptions as a sophomore for 326 yards. DJ Giddens, man, is just an all-around back. He can catch the ball. He can break tackles. He can get into the end zone. He knows how to get through the holes. He has great vision, great patience. I'm getting ahead of myself talking about strength right now. But, man, he is just an all-around great back, and I think he's underrated right now, especially at Kansas State. It's not like the competition is – sorry, Genty, it's not like it's a G5 competition. He's going against Big 12 matchups, and he's still balling out. Big 12 is known for their heavy linebackers, their big defensive fronts, to just attack that line of scrimmage, and he's getting beyond that to move the chains. Now, this season, he is currently on pace to run for over 1,400 yards, and of those right now, he is on pace to have just over 1,000 yards after contact, which is just phenomenal. That's assuming right now he maintains his 69% yards after contact, which is what he has right now through 5 games, which is phenomenal. Currently, he's averaging 7.2 yards per carry, so I do expect that to go down a little bit. So maybe we'll see a little shift into the expected yardage or what he's on pace to do if that goes down. But at the same time, his usage may go up. So his yards per carry may go down because he gets more opportunities as the season progresses there as well. Already, he has 23 missed tackles forced through the season, again, through 5 games. His passing Gabe isn't being as utilized this year. Maybe it's because you have Avery Johnson back there as the quarterback. I don't know, but 7 receptions for 91 yards is still good through 5 games. So again, Giddens is just exposing defenses, man. He's not letting these big tacklers get to him. Don't get me wrong, he's able to get brought down, but he's still getting yards after the contact. He's maintaining his efficiency to understand how to move the chains, and that's what's going to make him a good NFL back, in my opinion. Someone that understands, look, he could grind it out, but yet he's still not going to go down within that front seven. It's going to take the secondary to take him down. So that's a 10, 15-yard game every time the ball's in his hands. But let's talk about some of his strengths, right? Prototypical size. Right now, I don't really like talking about the size as much because it fluctuates. When we get to the combine, we really get what it is. A lot of time you have college athletes get a little bit more, a little bit less, whatever it may be. But right now, he does have the prototypical size. He is a bigger guy. He's staying about 6'1", just over 210 pounds, which allows him to absorb the contact. When I talk about his yards after contact, that's a huge reason why, because of his size and because of his speed and his elusiveness to get through there as well. So he absorbs that contact in and continues to maintain his balance to fight through as well. His ability to break tackles, obvious, yards after the contact. He just shows the ability to break tackles, whether it's stiff arming defenders, whether it's, juking left and right, whatever it may be. He has a strong lower body to keep his feet moving forward and push through some big defensive linemen and get through. His vision and patience, he's not someone that necessarily bursts out the backfield, but he's someone that is patient. He waits for his blocks to go in, and then he hits the hole quickly at that point. He understands, okay, here's my gap. Let's see if it's there. Nope, I'm going to go this way. Whoop, it is there. I'm going to go in and attack. And then he'll, do his thing to make sure he's evading those tacklers as well. As I talked about, his pass catching ability, something, again, that's phenomenal. He's not as consistent route running, but he does have reliable hands that can be a nice little safety or emergency blanket for quarterbacks that just need to get the ball out quickly. Pass protection is huge. Maybe it's because of his size, but his awareness on the field to pick up the blitzes and add an extra blocker for quarterbacks is phenomenal. And for running backs, that's a reason why NFL scouts look at, or a reason why NFL scouts like running backs like Giddens, because he has the ability to pick up the blitzers. So if he's not a starter out the gate, he could definitely be a third down back just to add an additional blocker and be someone with his size to make sure an edge rusher or a cornerback coming out the side isn't picking up on the quarterback and he's actually doing what he needs to do to add that pass protection as well. As well as the field awareness. As I mentioned earlier, he knows where his gaps are. He sees it, but it's open field awareness. When he has the field in front of him, he understands what he needs to do to get the extra yards. He sees where the defenders are coming, and he adjusts. His mindset is like 5 seconds ahead of what's going to happen, right? He sees the defender downfield. He knows, oh, okay, I got to make this play when it comes. And when the guy comes, I'm going to juke to the left. I'm going to juke to the right, or I'm just going to whoop, just swap him out the way and move forward, right? So that's always great as well. You love to see that from a running back who's not very speedy, which leads me to my areas of improvement. He doesn't really have that top end speed. Powerful back, yes, but that top end speed, he can get caught. In the secondary, that's why I said the secondary needs to get him down. He can get caught up. He can get attacked from behind because he doesn't have that top end speed to necessarily finish. It's just to get there, right? And again, goal line back type of style, he can push through and get through those defenders as well. Agility in tight spaces. He's not someone that's really going to get small, right? He doesn't really get small in those gaps to get through. He's going to find the open lanes, and then he's going to power through. It just kind of, those congested areas don't do so well for him because he's not as elusive as some of your other smaller backs may be. Route running consistency. He's not I don't want to say he's not a true pass catcher because his hands allow him to be, but like the routes aren't there. He's doing very simple routes when he's getting out. He's not doing any kind of complex route running, anything like that. You're not moving them outside, anything, but his hands are reliable. So again, he's just going to be someone out in the flat routes, maybe a quick slant, something like that to get him the ball as well. The explosiveness is a little limited for him. Again, he's not bursting through at the line of scrimmage. He's not bursting out into the secondary. He does have some speed, and he can get some big runs. I think this year currently his biggest run's like a 65-yard or so. So he does have that, but it's not consistent. It's not something where I say that's one of his strong suits. So he could definitely improve on that as well. And ball security, that's always a plus. As I talk about his pass catching ability, right now he has 5 drops in his collegiate career, 5 drops in his collegiate career, as well as 2 fumbles running the ball. So that ball security can become key. I can see that being a possibility, at times, again, because he's someone that goes after the contact and bounces off of it. Sometimes he lets that ball hang a little bit loose, and thus, you have a defender slap it out his head, and then there you go. It's a forced fumble. So that's something that can definitely improve on. As far as his draft stock eligibility, he is in the class of 2025. I believe consensus has him as a day 3 pick. And I'm telling y'all, man, this class is so deep. This running back class is going to change the future of the NFL in the sense of this running back class is going to be the running backs we're talking about for the next 5 or 6 years, as we have in like the running back class in the past with like Kamara, Barkley, stuff like that. So this class is going to be big, so I think he could sneak into a day 2. I really do believe we could see 5 to 8 running backs go between the first 2 days of the NFL draft. I really do believe that. That's how deep this running back class is. And there's still more that can go on in day 3. But I think DJ Giddens can slip into day 2. And a team I think would be a great fit for him would be the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, think about it. They did pick up Najee Harris's 5th-year option. As a first-round pick, they didn't pick up his 5th-year option. Yes, they could still re-sign him, give him an extension. Right now, he's not super efficient. He just isn't. He's averaging less than 3.5 yards per carry. If I'm not mistaken, it's 3.3 yards per carry. He's not as efficient right now. So, yes, they could re-sign him, but they could also just say, hey, we know this class is deep. We're just going to get our future back and help save something. And one thing that Pittsburgh struggles in is pass protection, right? They're not doing as good with the offensive line. It's still struggling. DJ Giddens is someone that's an extra blocker. Again, he has the awareness and the strength to pick up the blitzes to give any quarterback, whether it be Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, another quarterback they draft, whoever it is, to give them extra time to execute the play and get to their receivers. I think, again, that's why they're going to love him. And he still is that hard-nosed type of runner that you see in black and yellow, right? That hard-nosed type of runner that's going through the chains, getting there and making those plays happen. That's why I love about DJ Giddens. That's why I think he could be an excellent Pittsburgh Steeler in the future as well. As far as fantasy impact on the college level, man, this kid he's consistent. He's getting you yards every game. He can get you a touchdown. He gets you reception. He gets you yards in the receiving game. Just a consistent asset on the fantasy college side, which is great for your C2C leagues or CFF leagues. And at the next level, depending on where he goes, I think he could be a RB2 with RB1 upside, right? Because if he's somewhere that has to work his way up, which some running backs do, that's okay. But again, he could be a third down back, just someone to go in there, pick up the blitz, earn his stripes. He could be someone on special teams, earn his stripes, and work his way up to the starting role. Or let's just say Pittsburgh doesn't have that trust in Jaylen Warren. They let go of Najee Harris. The spot's wide open. Or he gets drafted to be the starter, and guess what? He's going to be an RB1 out the gate. Again, the contact balance is key. That's what's going to bring significant scouts to look at him. That's what's going to bring people's eyes to him, that ability as well as the pass blocking ability. So I think any team that gets him is a gold mine. And to me, I really believe he's going to be the one I'm stashing a lot in Dynasty Leagues, just because I feel he's going to be one that drops on rankings. So you're going to get him late second, maybe even in the 3rd round, possibly. I don't know. But that's something where I believe he's going to be a great stash, because I think the future is really bright for DJ Giddens. As someone that was not ranked on the 247 composite site to being a star running back in the NFL, I think that can be Kansas State running back DJ Giddens. That is all we have for you today on today's Devy Diamond. Again, Kansas State running back DJ Giddens. I appreciate y'all for watching. Again, if you like what you're watching, these Devy Diamonds, learning about Devy, watch our Devy Game Day, just fantasy content in general. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We are dropping content daily. And check out our website, fantasyfootballuniverse.com, where I have my full write-up on DJ Giddens as a Devy Diamond. Until next time, I am the Devy Mastermind of the FFU, SC Romero, at the PPR show on X. Peace.